A rush of air greets me as soon as the main door opens. Not the usual autumn draft, but it's still a welcome change from the stifling atmosphere inside the mansion. Ash's footsteps are quick behind me, the soles of his shoes thumping hard against the polished concrete in an awkward cadence as he rushes to catch up. He calls out once, twice. The mansion still looms in the background. Whispers calling me back, shadows beckoning. Help me. I don't look back. Fun fact, if you hit a button, it will give you the backlog of all of the text. What button? I don't know. I don't know what I just did. I'm starting to lose track of where the episodes begin and end. But, if you are just joining us, or if you joined us at the beginning of this episode, or if this is the beginning, I'm not entirely sure. I'm very tired. We spend the ride back to Luxburn City in a relatively quiet manner, with only the radio's disjointed hum in the background to fill the silence. Occasionally, Ash will reach out to fiddle with it until the signal settles or it's on a respectable volume, but otherwise, he doesn't say anything. Neither do I. However, if the furtive glances he's been sending my way are signs, I know there are things he's been itching to ask since we left the mansion. I keep my eyes trained on the passing scenery outside, in the small hope that my disinterest will dissuade him. If you're just joining us, we are playing The Letter. It's a YouTube exclusive game that I am not streaming to my Twitch channel. You're only going to find it here. The reason for that is I've been told there's some dialogue later in the game that is maybe not Twitch appropriate, so we are hoping to be able to edit that out so that we're not being super offensive, because that would suck. To recap, I am currently Isabella. She gets mad if you call her Isabel. She is a realtor, or part of a real estate agency, and she is, with her partner Rose, selling a mansion. Now, this mansion has a reputation for being quite haunted. So Rose got there first, called Isabella. Isabella was very late, received a phone call when she got to the mansion from Rose claiming she was in the attic. So when Isabella went to the attic to find Rose, what she found was a creepy ghost lady and a chain letter. She fell down the stairs trying to get away from the creepy ghost lady. Rose found her. Rose claims to never have made that call, so nobody knows why Isabella had to go to the attic to begin with. Then there was an open house. At the open house, there's all these rich people obviously trying to buy a mansion. One couple in particular is incredibly interested. But during all this time, Isabella keeps seeing things, remembering things. She's having a little bit of trouble, and Rose thinks it's because she fell down the stairs and hit her head. So Rose has sent her home. Ash, her friend, she affectionately refers to occasionally as Ashhole, has driven her back into town. And now you're all caught up. So we are here. Wherever here is, I may have forgotten. All of a sudden, he tosses something at me from a small compartment on his side. It hits me cleanly on the chin before I can make a move to catch it. The small package makes a soft landing on my lap instead. Sorry. The glare I sent him wipes the smirk about to form cleanly off his face. He clears his throat, focusing his eyes on the road again. I swear he did that on purpose. Ignoring him, I flip the half-forgotten package on my lap. I won't say no to free food, but why are you giving away cereal bars? I always have one on my person, and you look like you were about to pass out back there. Have you eaten lunch? I don't even get a chance to deny it, because right on cue, my stomach rumbles loudly, and an empty gnawing feeling in my belly becomes noticeable. No surprise there. I did skip breakfast and lunch so I could catch Becca while she was on break. I was hoping to get a small meal after. I guess with everything going on, I just forgot until Ash mentioned it. It's not like the hollow feeling's new to me, though. If anything, it's just one of the things I've gotten used to ignoring over the years growing up. A thanks, then I tear open the package and start nibbling on the edge of the bar. Apart from an acknowledging nod, Ash doesn't say anything after that small exchange. For that, I'm thankful. After getting an earful from both Becca and Rose, it's nice to be able to just sit down with someone who's not going to nag at you. How'd the open house go? It's the usual. We got a bigger crowd than normal because of the property's fame, but really no different from the typical open house. On second thought, it actually looks like a fancy party more than an open house. I've never felt so underdressed in my life. Weren't you there? I wasn't really listening. I should have asked someone to kick you out. No, you won't. And what makes you so sure? Well, one, ever since you got assigned to this property, you've been freaking out about it. Becca's words, not mine. She's been complaining to me how you talked your ears off, by the way. Two, despite your initial qualms about the place, you still took the job, which brings us to three. It's been months since you last settled a deal, and you're short on money right now because you're back to your instant noodle diet. How did you even know about that last one? Rebecca. Anyhow, you're hell-bent on selling the mansion. Even if someone you know personally is in the tour group, you aren't just going to kick them out. Every single person who went to your open house is still a prospective client to you. Even me. He's not entirely wrong. Oh man, I walked right into that one, didn't I? I hate you. I really hate you right now. His answer is a small laugh, the kind that screams, I'm right, I told you so. I hate it when he does that. I'll have you know that there's already someone who's extremely interested in this property. So even if you expressed any sort of interest in it, I don't think they'd be willing to let you have it. Too bad. Provided I didn't botch it with the rights. Ma'am Hannah, in particular, didn't look too pleased with what I did. I owe Rose a big apology. I hope she likes free donuts. You don't seem too happy about it. I am happy. Doesn't this look like a happy face to you? Really? And here, I was thinking you found another one stuffed in the sofa. Or is it the wardrobe this time? He meant that as a joke, but how close it is to the truth made my blood run cold and my own heart beat a heavy weight in my chest. All at once, the letter in my bag feels a whole lot heavier, burdened by my own guilt and apprehension. Yeah, well, things happened. Stuff the right couple might not be pleased about. No need to make a fuss about it. It's normal in this business. You made them angry? Not angry, just stuff happened. Like things. Did they do anything? Your clients? The rights, was it? I can't answer that. At least not without revealing everything that took place in the attic. Do we want to change the subject or lie to him? Good. Change the subject. Oh, that did a thing. What did that do? Oh, we have more points. You keep asking me about my work, yet you haven't said a single word about yours. That's not fair. Both you and Zach have literally disappeared off the face of the earth. An over-exaggeration, but changing the subject to something else is still better than outright lying to him. Besides, it never works with him. I'm not sure if it's because I'm just bad at it or because he's just really very good at this. He doesn't answer immediately, only momentarily shifting a glance over to me and returning back to the road when he has to make a sharp turn. Outside, the sun has already started its descent, casting a vibrant orange glow on the tall buildings. I wonder how long before we reach the venue for Zach's film. Checking the street signs outside, it appears Ash has taken the longer route. Odd, but he's probably trying to avoid the rush hour traffic. Didn't we just talk a week ago over chat? And that's different. Linking your awful memes in the group chat box every morning isn't exactly a conversation. Excuse me, I don't hear you calling them awful while you're laughing at them. Shut up, and you aren't answering my question. That earns him a soft punch to his arm. I did laugh at them, but I'm not going to give him the satisfaction of knowing that I find most of them funny. It'll only make his head bigger. Stupid Ash. All right. Lay off on the abuse. Remember that case I mentioned before? We've been trying to pin that bastard down, but it required more work than we anticipated. The guy's slippery like that. We got some good lead months ago. He recounts what he's been doing in that time that we haven't seen each other. His usual work, the occasional small investigation, and the big case he's been stuck working on. Stuff he couldn't mention in the brief time we catch each other online. Although most of it are the trimmed down version, only things he can tell. He's always been really careful about that. Even in the way he spins his answers to my questions. Just enough to satisfy my curiosity, but not enough to paint the whole picture. At one point, his voice takes on a strained tone when he mentions something about the big case, but I don't dwell on it much. That's normal, right? I mean, who wouldn't be frustrated if you couldn't bring someone to justice because they keep slipping out of your fingers? If I were in his shoes, I'd definitely lose my mind. His stories never cease to be entertaining, regardless. If things weren't the way they were back home, maybe I would have considered taking on the same job as him. Well, no, not really. Mama would never allow that. But the idea is still there, along with countless others I've let go. Time passes quickly between us in this manner, and before we know it, we're already at the movie house. I forgot we were going to the movies. I thought we were going home. Okay. Going to the movies! A small crowd has already formed in front of the theater when we arrive. The Lift Fest, short for Luxborn Independent Film and Theater Festival, attracts a bigger crowd annually, and this year is no different. I've only been to a few indie film screenings with Zach, so I'm not an expert on the matter. But I know that for people hoping to make a break in the industry, getting your film recognized by a local event like this is already a big deal. Especially for a newcomer like Zach. He hasn't even won an award, but just getting a confirmation letter that the festival committee wants to include his movie in this year's lineup already put a grin on his face for weeks. Speaking of that guy, he's impossible to miss. At 6 feet, he appears to loom over most of the moviegoers, and with his large build and heavy voice, there's no surprise when people give him a wide berth as they pass by. It's often easy to mistake him for somebody intimidating at first glance. I did, back when I didn't know any better. Ash did too, I heard, once, early in their friendship. Oh, there's Zach. Hey, you guys. Long time no see. Zach's face lights up with a smile of his own. He moves toward us with careful steps, taking a significant effort to make himself smaller so as not to bump or accidentally hit anyone. Typical Zach. As he nears, Ash casually raises his hand in greeting. It's been a while, Zach. I hope you didn't get into trouble again. Not much trouble to get in lately without you, I'm afraid. I'll let you know if something comes up, though. Nah, I ended up with Wait, I feel like I've lost track of who is who. Nah, I ended up with chicken down stuck on me last time I agreed. I'd really love at least this year to pass without some sort of accident happening again. Hey, I take offense to that. It wasn't that bad. You really have no idea. A beat passes, and then Zach laughs. Hey, I'm kidding. You know you can always count on me. It's a story only the two of them are privy to. Every now and then, Ash will enlist Zach's help on something. Beckett and I are never really found out what the deal is with those adventures, as Ash calls it, and both aren't willing to tell due to some unspoken agreement. She insists that if it's Ash, it's likely not something illegal or life-threatening. I tend to believe her on that. Sometimes. Ah, well, boys will be boys, I guess. I give Zach a small wave from behind Ash when his attention eventually turns to me. Bella! Huh? Rebecca's not with you? Is she still sick? A bit, but she's up and went to work this morning. You know she doesn't listen to anyone that's not Ash. Yes, she does. No, she doesn't. You're literally the only person she'll listen to when she's feeling bad. And it's true, they've known each other far longer than any of us in the group, childhood friends and all. But don't worry, Zach. She's probably on her way here now. She promised she wouldn't miss your movie. Isabella, oh thank goodness. Speak of the devil. Without warning, a hand grabs me by the shoulder and turns me around. Becca, you're just in time. I have to lean back a little with the way her face is almost invading my personal space, but she places her hand on either side of my head to keep me still. She stares at me intently, concern filling her eyes. Becca, you're squishing my face. How are you? Are you all right? Why wouldn't I be? Rose called me earlier. Those 4 words tell me all I need to know. Since I don't have my family living close by, and the only other relative I have here works on the far side of the country, I gave my company Becca's contact information, in case of emergency. I should have known Rose would call her. I push Becca's hands away from my face. Although she lets go, her eyebrows remain drawn together. Oh no, everything's good. Rose covered for me at work today. That's not what I'm talking about. How is your head? Beside me, Ash snickers. I bite back the urge to elbow him in place of trying to avoid Becca's hand as she tries to reach out for the said area. I do my best to dodge her, all at once moving to hide behind Zach. Sorry for using you as a human shield, Zach. Oh, it's nothing. I just slipped off a few steps on my way down. I blacked out for a few seconds, had a minor bump, but it's just that. You blacked out? It's not something to brush off. Come on, at least let me check it. It's extremely minor. You wouldn't even know it's there. This isn't a laughing matter. She did look pale when I saw her. Wow, thanks a lot, Ashton, you traitor. I'll get you back for this. Just you wait. What? I'm just saying it is as it is. If you mentioned this earlier, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now. I'm sorry, saw her? Yeah, they arrived together. Bella looked fine to me then, I don't know. Something crosses Becca's face, but it's gone before I can figure out what it is. Oh, that's good. At least she didn't have to travel alone, right? At least. Good. See, I'm okay. I wouldn't be here if I wasn't. And I don't want to miss Zach's film. We can always watch it some other time. I'm sorry, Zach. No, it's good. But you guys should really keep it down. We're starting to attract some attention. It's the premiere. The premiere's different, right, Zach? I shoot him a pleading look. Zach's a sensible guy. He'll understand. Not really, but Rebecca has a point. In the end, I think it's your call. Oh, for heaven's sake. Please, Becca, I really don't want to miss it. You're not missing it. We're just moving it to a different day so we can have a... Look, you guys. Ash's loud sigh unexpectedly cuts through the conversation. He's pinching the bridge of his nose as he speaks, something he usually does when he's getting impatient. If she says she's okay, then there's nothing we can do about it. It's not like we can stop her either. Besides, she's still acting like the same old Isabella to me. If she can still run around like, why are you taking her side? I'm not. But if she wants to watch Zach's movie with us, I'm not going to stop her. She's probably the one looking forward to it the most. Ash, that's... You, of all people, should know. Tell you what, if I notice something amiss with her, I'll take her to the nearest hospital myself. Is that good enough for you? I already know the answer before Becca voices it out. When, at last, she releases a deep breath and nods, albeit with great reluctance, I immediately tackle her into a hug. Thanks, Becca! It's always been you with him, isn't it? Did you say something? Nothing. No, don't mind me. If you say so. Okay, guys, showtime's close, so I think I'm gonna get us some snacks, my treat, and then let's head inside. Anyone here has a smaller bill? I think I do. Hold on. I pull myself off from Becca to get my wallet from my bag, and... What's this? It's already in Ash's hands before I can even react. Behind him, Becca and Zach are both giving the piece of paper an intrigued look. No, give it back. It's just a paper. I don't care. Give it. It looks ancient, too. Why do you keep this around? I try to reach for it, but he holds the paper way above his head. I've never been particularly sensitive about my own height, but right now I really wish I have that advantage over him. Don't open it. What's the big deal? It's not like it's a love letter. I don't see any reason to... Hold on a second. This is... Isn't it? Even if it is, it's not for you. Okay, now I'm curious. I'm telling you, it's nothing like that. It's... The rest of my words are lost when he unfolds the paper. Achievement unlocked. Too early for Halloween. I can't breathe. My heart feels stuck in my throat, pounding, threatening to burst out. Vaguely, I note how my hands are trembling at my sides. Clasping them together doesn't do any good. They're still shaking, but I hang on to them regardless. The awful sick weight that has taken its core in my stomach back in the open house returns full force. How do I fix this? How do I fix this? How do I fix this? Someone please. Today is turning out to be a horrible nightmare. Send this to 5 people or else? Well, that's interesting. Guys, I think we should listen to Bella first. Aren't you a few days early for Halloween? Ash waves the paper in front of me, giving me a fleeting glimpse of its contents. I don't need to see. I don't want to see. The letters, the words, every stroke written in blood is already embedded in my mind. Maybe I should have just thrown it away when I had the chance. That way. That way. It's not a prank. It makes all of them stop. Even I am surprised with how steady my voice is. What did you say? This isn't a prank. I saw something. Hold on. Are we still talking about this paper or about the urban legend again? Both. I know it sounds ridiculous. You're saying this is a primitive version of a chain letter, and now that we've seen it, we're now cursed. You've got to be kidding me. See, this is why I didn't want to tell you guys. Isabella, aren't you taking this a bit too far? It's not a joke. Will you guys listen to me first? I saw something in the house earlier. It stood right in front of me. If I hadn't gotten away, that thing might have... Right. And in broad daylight, Isabella? Even someone gullible would find the logic in that screwed up. Also, there's no way in hell that this supernatural shit is true. But it's real. What do you think I saw? A hallucination? A delusion? Didn't you say you fell down some stairs? So maybe Rebecca's right. It happened after, when I was trying to get away. I almost got stuck in the same room with that thing. We're all in danger. I thought you were my friends. Why don't you believe me? We are, and you know that. But this thing and that thing has got nothing to do with the other. When Rose called earlier, I thought she's just exaggerating, but based on what I'm seeing now, maybe it's best if we really postpone this for now. Don't bother. Without another word, I snatch the letter out of Ash's hand and stuff it back in my bag, with force more than necessary. I'm tired. I got cursed, I saw a ghost, I probably lost a sale, I got kicked out of the open house I'm supposed to be hosting, my own friends won't believe me, and all of them think I'm crazy. To top it all off, there's a dull ache at the back of my head begging for a little attention I can't afford to give it right now. Honestly, there's only so much a person can take within a single day. I just want to go home, curl up in my bed, and never think about today. But before I can take a single step away from the group, guys... Zach rarely ever raises his voice, even when there's a point he wants to drive home, and hearing him take on that tone completely throws me off. Even Ash and Becca. Whatever harsh words yet to come out from the argument immediately die on our tongues. Why don't we all calm down first? I'm sure Isabella has her reasons too. No need to be hard on her. And hey, ain't this supposed to be a happy get-together? We haven't seen each other for months. I'd really love to know what all of you have been up to. I only ever get to talk to Bella over chat. Please. He has a point. Ash, for all his attempts to look cool and distant, has also been looking forward to this. He even took the time to call this morning for a reminder. He never does that. Becca too. I'm pretty sure that's another reason why she got out of bed today. Yet, despite Zach's attempts to lighten things up, or Ash and Becca's acquiescing gestures, the tightness in my chest remains. I should have just kept it to myself, or at least went with the idea that it's a prank. If I did, things might not have turned out the way they had. No sour mood, no bad vibes. Careless. So careless. Maybe leaving is the better decision for all of us. No, fuck that. We're watching this movie. Uh-oh. Thank you so much for watching. If you could poke those like and subscribe buttons, that would be super groovy because it helps me to be able to continue making and improving my content, and also acts as an offering to the algorithm gods. And we all know how important it is to appease our Lord and Savior Algo. Also, be sure to check out my live streams on Twitch and join the Glow Gang by following me on Twitter and joining our Discord. Links for those as well as all of my artist credits can be found in the description below. As always, stay bright, lamplights.